catch up. And come on. Hello, and welcome to our fourth playthrough of The Great War in Europe, and on Tweezer Tuesday. I'm Alan at Bleed Tweezers, and my illustrious opponent is online, Pat Mullen. Hi, say hi, Pat.
Hi, Pat. At least I'm illustrious today, as opposed to being erstwhile, or
Well, it was erstwhile last time, and after the 10.5 we've done, you've been upgraded to illustrious.
I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm always happy to be illustrious.
Yes.
So, how are you doing today, Alan? Good.
Yeah. Fine. So, apologies for no Tweezer Thursday last week. I think I said I was doing some family manoeuvres, shall we say, over some mileage, and but that's it's half complete. There'll be another one, but we don't know exactly when that will be. But anyway, and Pat, how have you been? I know you've been doing a lot of American Civil War, I think.
We that's an interesting topic. So we Gary Howard Wolf got some swag, I believe, from Worthington Games. Oh. So we played the that game, a game called Antietam. It's a brigade, no stacking, brigade level. And the sad thing, and I'll be sad about it, is I think the basics of the game, taking like Antietam to a brigade scale, right? Mm-hmm. What's good about the game is that it could have been a very interesting played in 4 hours Civil War battle game. Mm-hmm. And I really mean that. Okay. Yep. I don't need the stacking. I don't need the complexity. It yes. worked out pretty well. The problem I had with the title is that they scripted it to the point where it's uninteresting. So in the game, for the Union side, right, gets 2 activations per turn. Confederates get unlimited. And this is to reflect, the way the Union Army operated at the time. Okay, at the time of that battle. However, the Union player can increase his activations specifically by grabbing the Dunker Church and any part of the Sunken Road. Now, the problem I have with that is that those things are retrospectively important. They were defensive locations that, because of the way the battle evolved historically, they were important. You follow what I'm saying? So it's subjective. Yeah. If they had said, grabbed a panoply of locations, you know what I mean, that reflected progress, and said, hey, as the Union Army progresses, they will gain more objectives, right? And maybe even took those locations out of the mix for historical victory conditions, I would have found the game very interesting. Because what grooves me in war games, honestly, isn't the complexity level. It's things, player agency, replayability. Do things make operational sense? And authenticity. So in terms of the gameplay, what I just described in terms of design meant that there's only one way for the Union to play the game. Yeah. Which makes it inherently uninteresting. And the funny thing is, it's how I approach most games that I play, right? The first time usually is I try to do something ahistorical and see if the game will do that. And if the game won't let me do that, I generally don't want to play it. Because it's not about letting me have agency. It's about, you know what I mean? A scripting. Yeah,
following a journey,
right?
Set before you, yeah.
Right, and that's just not what I'm into games for at all. And the other flip side that I didn't like is I found the graphics bloody awful. The game map is reasonable, but just the use of space. Like say they have these huge counters, but then there's all this tiny writing on them that's kind of unnecessary. And then they kind of opened. So for like to identify a division, right? There's color banding, and they took the approach of the Crayola pack of 24 crayons. So you're like, is that the teal blue or the royal blue? With wording you couldn't read. So yeah, that from right. Poor graphical choice. So that's my quickie on that. But yeah, indeed, what I have been doing also, there was a lot of Dead of Winter, Great Battles of the American Civil War. That's been a blast.
Yes. Good. Yeah. I have watched a bit of it. I certainly have watched a bit of the Worthington and the GBACW. And it's interesting.
Dirty little secret: I will not be attacking him.
Oh, okay.
And if you watch the last playthrough, and the other thing is that whole attack he did was illegal, so we have to take that away. You can either you can fire or advance or move on an advance order. You can't do both. Right. So my plan, because I know you popped in for that, my plan there was to basically grab that ground and make Davis have a really hard time joining up with the rest of the Union.
Yeah, on the left. Yeah.
But it's 3:00, so I'm not going to be launching an attack when we're going to go down to like almost no visibility at 5 and then nighttime at 6. So my plan was just put the pressure on him, and put him in a difficult position while not exposing myself a whole lot. So yeah. So all right. So speaking of that, let's get back to the game where I am exposing myself in the east.
Indeed, that's right.
So what do we leave off doing here?
So I believe we've just got the second movement phase and second combat phase to do. So second half of the turn. So you are on initiative on the east map, and I'm on initiative on the west map now.
Okay.
And then we'll have strategic movement, and then we'll go into the second. I think it's strategic turn B after this as well. So hopefully you should be able to crack on pretty quickly here.
You are right. I indeed need to cover down in the east. So let's do that.
Okay. One thing I did want to check. So I'm going to slightly interrupt there. I just need to check the reinforcements coming in, because it's kind of critical to how I move the French. Make sure I've got some people coming in. So do bear with me for a second. Right, it's no reinforcements. That's fine. So yeah, back to you on the east map. Sorry about that. Back as you were.
So let's see. What is the rules on HQ reinforcement again?
In the hex or adjacent. In the hex or adjacent, or cities.
Oh, and I actually get an headquarters in the east next turn. Interesting. Despite your breakthroughs, it looks like I'm positioned. If I just do as I just did and move the 8th, I don't really need to fall back a lot more.
No, I mean it's an awkward line, certainly. I think it's difficult for you to do any particular attacks. But
no, but in terms of maintaining it,
yes.
Königsberg will be under fortress support, though. Fortress supply.
Yes.
All right, so that's it for the Germans. I'll go look at them again.
Yeah, I think maybe down towards Posen. Needs a little attention, I would have thought. Anyway, so I'll zoom out for East Map for our viewers, so they can see what's going on there. And over here, so we need to bolster that done, certainly. And just for reminders for anybody, on the west map, the movement points are doubled, and that's the third number, last number on the counters, the second or third number on the counters.
I forget. Can we strategic move at the end of our normal move? Okay.
Yeah. So at the end of the second combat phase, then there is a strategic movement. So.
Hello, Julian Grayson.
Hello, hi. Welcome to the live stream. We're just going through the second movement phase of the September 2 turn. Myself with the allies on the west and Central Powers. Pat is controlling over in the east map. Hopefully you can see both of those maps.
I don't think they're going to do much, Julian. They may do a little, but the one thing you can't get away from is, there isn't a whole lot of drastic sweeping movement or exploitation. It's a grind. I was just looking at that, and I get a bunch of reinforcements that basically I can throw down and maintain the line. So where I am in the east right now, if you look at that map, is all I'm going to really have to deal with is Königsberg being in fortress supply. And I'll at least make him work to put Lutzen in fortress supply. But generally speaking, I'll have some strength. I'm able to form a line, as you can see, kind of in the south there with the Germans, with Austrian help. Get things going in terms of protecting Thorn. And then we'll see what happens. The real key, I think, big picture, is when I decide to actually take my initiative in the east. That I think that's even more important than units at this stage, because there's a lot of German units that come in and they can all be sent to the east. This next reinforcement phase. Now,
I think the Russians are. You can't be over ambitious in the game. They can get a very bloody nose, but they can apply kind of like increasing pressure.
Right.
In the game, where
the problem for the Russians is where they come in and where their cities are, all that sort of stuff. For you, as we've discussed, so the Germans, it's the advantage of defending, right? So
yeah, sure.
Stuff comes in stuff will come in at Danzig, stuff will come in or adjacent to the 8th Division headquarters up there. Stuff will come in at Thorn. Yeah, so it'll get thick quickly. The Russians, I believe, it'll come in at Lomza, Kovno, that sort of thing, adjacent to your headquarters. And it's getting that stuff up there. So, the Russians aren't a steamroller. They're an elephant.
Yeah, I think we're all like a kind of a hand that's slowly squeezing. If you see what I mean.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
But there's no boom, move, attack, reinforcements come in. They're right at the front. Do another attack. It's.
No, indeed, that's right. Yeah.
Now the West kind of works that way, but that's because of the increased movement points. But even there, it's very difficult to. If you're maintaining a constant line, you really can't do anything about it. So if you I'm looking now at your movement, you can probably attack that 144, right? By Verdun, might blow them up, but there's no exploitation, right? So it's attritional.
Yes, indeed. It's just going to take a hit to the line. Absolutely. Yeah.
I could put them either place, Julian. I just, it's no secret. I just think that the Russia's the place where they really need to go.
I think if it's left, certainly in the north, in Prussia,
right.
If it's left like that, then by the end of my next move, you'll be in serious trouble.
Right.
Yeah, so that does need repair.
But bear in mind, I haven't transferred any units from the west.
Indeed.
Right? Yeah, right. So I feel good still about the west as these next few months go on. I'm just kind of really strong there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think I gave up, if you want to compare it to historical in the East, I've given up a little bit of ground historically, but not like this tremendous amount of ground.
No. No, and I think we mentioned several times before that the game doesn't really do that. You don't get a race to the sea. You get a sweeping arm which meets another arm and they stop, and that's kind of then you get this pressure building up again, and that's what's happened here. Even with the sort of pre-war advantages about Belgians and late British, it kind of came out slightly further back than usual, but not a huge amount on the west. Right, okay, I think I'm done.
All right. I am triple check that I'm done, but I'm pretty sure that I'm done too.
Okay.
I am done. I have no attacks, so.
Well, okay. Yeah, West Coast first.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I don't think. I've got some attacks. So they would be.
I'm going to have my headphones on, and I need to take a couple of Tylenol while you're doing that. So I'll trust you implicitly to.
Right. Okay. Sure.
Which is probably a poor move on my part, but.
Okay. So down near Nancy, we're going to have a couple of attacks here, I think. So we've got the hex next to Sarabog. You have a 3-4 here, 5th Bavarian Reserve, and we're going to be attacking with the 4 units. Was it? Which is a 3, 6, 9, 12 to 3. It's 4 to 1. So we can do that. There's no modifiers for terrain and no HQs involved. So it's just that straight. Something I need to do because I seem to have mislaid my my CRT somewhere in my house. Just going to have a look at just getting my copy of it.
Would you like me to send me the copy on Discord?
I've got it. Just finding it and opening it up. So. That's the wrong one. So bear with me. Right. Come on. Okay, it's not going up here. Nope. So, I can do it this way. Right, yeah, got it now. Okay, so 4 to 1 next to Zarabol.
Okay.
A 4 to 1 is a 0-3, so he's dead.
Okay.
5th Bavarian Reserve.
There you go.
Okay. And
wrong hex. Sorry. Next to Sarabog. All right.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I have the place here. Okay. That's the one, yeah. And we've got another one to the north, which is just to the south of Metz. It's a 3-4. You've got their 5th Reserve. And so I've got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 3 to 1. And I've got an HQ adding to make it 4 to 1.
Just south of Metz. Okay. South.
Yeah.
West?
Southeast. So the 3-4, not the 3-4-4.
Okay.
Yeah. So 4 to 1 again. Oh, 6. That's an E. So,
all right. Let me make sure. that these guys are going where they're supposed to go. Getting one of those bad data messages. Yeah, let me see.
In the center of your available units box.
Yeah. I'm just making sure that they're. So it was a Bavarian Reserve. Yeah. Okay. They're still doing what they should be doing. Okay.
And Fifth Reserve, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
When I see that message, I get, woo.
Okay. We got no, that's it. I think. Thinking about the British here, but you're in Marsh and you've got an HQ to back you up. So.
And you had a disastrous attack.
But yeah, I rolled a 1 last time, so we'll be able to do it again. The British are pretty good.
No, I mean it just took a lot of strength that you would have had in that attack away, like this turn.
I think I probably got as much, but I haven't got the HQ. So I think 2 shifts against with no 4. It's not gonna go well. Assuming it was as big as it was last turn. Yeah. So. I think we're okay. Yeah, that's it for the attacks.
All right. So I have none. So we're done.
Great. Okay.
I did my strategic move in the east.
Okay.
If you look at noteworthy there is if you look at the Serbian front, it's even a little more stripped because you're at the end of your supply tether where you are.
Yes.
So you can't flank me anymore. And we sent one of the mountain units up to Breslau.
So. Okay. Right. Oh, so there was a pretty bad attack up there. Well, one was rolled there as well, which
yes,
quite a few Serbs dying. So again, that's blunted things. Okay, so strategic redeployment. So I go first. I've really only got the 1.
Oh, that's right. We do them all over the maps. Right. I may have some to do here, but I really have not. I've already done my 1 in the east. There's no more really, not much strategic moving for me to do there.
Yeah, I'm happy-ish, shall we say? Happy-ish. Right. Okay. So yeah, I'm done strategic move. So now we move on to the strategic turn. I believe if we look at the turn marker, which I think is in the.
All right. Let me make sure. I already did my strategic movement in the west, correct?
No.
No,
I don't know. So.
No. Let me make sure.
Let's zoom out so it can be viewed.
Don't. We're going to send him there. And Do I want them there or by Metz? Nope, there's fine. So, all right, I am done. My strategic move was quite simplistic, really.
Yeah, I'm one unit as well.
All right, so strategic turn.
Yes. Let's go with that. We'll just go through our
sequence of play.
I think it was strategic turn. Here we go. So, yeah, check for regular victory. There isn't any at the moment. And collect and transfer resources. So the resources for we have here are turn to be Austria gets 4 resources.
Right. So let me collect those. All right, and I need to mark this as. Well, we know I have all those 4, so the Germans will start with the baseline of 4.
Yes.
If I can find the German marker where I just moved it.
It's just in the Adriatic Sea.
Ah, well. Now, do I get real German resources?
You get 10.
Oh, whoa, total. That's hefty. Okay.
It gets a lot better than that.
So I get 10 added to the 4.
Yes, that's correct. So 14.
Ooh, oof.
Yep.
Woof.
Okay.
All right.
So on the Allied side, we get 1 British. We get 6 French. All the French have gone.
He's on 9 for some reason.
Oh, should be on 0. I used those 9 up last year. So 6.
Right.
And the Russians get 8. And the Serbians
get 1 or 2. I'm betting money.
They get 4.
Whoa.
It's never this good again, though.
Got it.
Okay.
So it's specific for this strategic turn.
Yes. Yeah. So each turn they're different. So next strategic turn, your Germans will go up to 12, and then the turn after they'll go to 24, and they'll sit there for about 8 strategic turns at 24, and then it starts to tail off. And the Austrians rise up 8, 10. They go up to 12 briefly, then back down to 10, and then tail off again. The French eventually go up to 16, 18. The British go up to 12, 14, 16.
Yeah.
Russians go up to 24 at some point, but briefly. So, yes, anyway.
Is there anything else in the resource phase or no?
That bit. And add any new units. So get your reinforcements.
All right. Let me pick at the pick and stack here first. I think you have quite a few more than I do. Let me.
Yes. But you get some Austrians for starters, which is good.
Yeah.
Not many though.
I am going to. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll throw the damn Austrians in the Baltic Sea, and I'll throw for now the Germans in Holland. Germans will come here. You guys need to go to the Baltic Sea. Boom.
Okay.
And that is it for me. So you get a pile of Russians and some British is what it looks like.
Some decent Russians as well.
Yeah.
My Siberians, I think, here. So what I need to do is move those guys off because they are casualties. Move these guys to the south.
Do we actually place them now?
No, you collect them.
Collect. Okay.
Yeah. So I think you might have to. No, it's just place them at the moment. The British coming along as well.
Okay, so we collect our new units, and then
and factor in our RPs we've done. Then any events which are labeled to enter play.
Okay.
We're not there yet. Nothing to do with the Near East. We can ignore that for the moment because the Turks are still neutral. Okay. Okay. All supplied depleted headquarter unit are flipped back, so flip our HQs back. That's probably all of them. Russians to do. All right.
Make sure I got all the Austrians.
Oh, sorry. No, they don't. They don't flip. Strategicians, B and C, we don't flip because it's the ammunition running out.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So that.
Oh, Alan.
So we come to the logistic end of the beginning of the war. So that.
All right. Now the West. All right. Let me go through again. He was flipped. He was flipped.
Yeah.
He was not. He was not.
So we don't get those back until strategic turn D, which is the beginning of 1915. So even in the next strategic turn, we don't get them back.
So let's see. He was flipped. However, I didn't use a lot of headquarters last turn. The ones in the north and the ones in the west.
Yeah.
The center is what I use. Let me flip him.
Yeah, I had to cut. Oh, no, that one. Certainly was used. I flipped it. No. Yeah, I only had a couple on the French side, but a lot of the Russian ones are flipped now.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Okay, so now you can transfer resource points. So now I can transfer one British or French resource point to Russia. Although because the Turks are neutral, I can do that unlimited if I wanted to. I'm
not doing any. If you have any to do, feel free.
Yeah.
But the Austrians are fine.
So I think I might send the British one over to the Russians. Or can I give them to the French? I can't. No, I can't actually. So they can only go to the Russians. So the British one will go to the Russians because the British units they are two-step units, or certainly the BEF are, and they flipped for their losses, but they have an underline, and that underline means that you can't build them back. So they're
right,
done, if you like. So there's no point in them having an RP. I give that to the Russians. So after that, I think I'll transfers any emergency replacements. So I don't think the French are going to do emergency replacements. It's effectively you give VPs away.
And I don't think I can yet.
No, not until before play. 1915 to 17.
Right.
You can do that, so not yet. Right, the strategic warfare then, which there isn't anyway. That's U-boats and things like that, and strategic bombing. There's none of that yet. We haven't been through the chits. Now it's the replacement phase. So this is buying units from the dead pile and putting them back. So let
me sort out my dead pile. Let me eliminate my dead pile, actually. And turn it into just a stack of dead units in the corner.
Yep.
All right. So the Austrians are going to spend,
Yep.
4.
If you're building back an HQ, HQs are 1 resource point to bring back depleted, 2 to bring them full strength, but you cannot bring them back full strength on strategic turns B and C. So again, you can't get around the.
I do not have that problem right now. So.
Right. So yeah, if you want to, you're in the west, I suppose. You're doing that, aren't you? So,
yeah. Let me just get through this quickly. One.
I need to just sort out these guys into nationalities. They're all mixed up. Your losses. Right, so it's easy to bring back the Serbs. They have 4. Back in Belgrade.
And what do we do with the new units now?
So on replacements,
will the reinforcements come in right afterwards? Better put when do the reinforcements come in? Is this the phase or?
Yeah. So yeah, it just says the replacement phase here. Just looking about. There's lots of talk about what happens in Turkey.
Let me take a look. page 11.
Okay, at that point, you put them into the available units box. So just build what you want and put them with your reinforcements at this point in time.
Okay.
That's all it's talking about right at this moment. So checking how I've got 9 Russians. So that's very easy. Count it out. So that's straightforward. The French are 6. Come on. Actually, these Serbs who go back in Belgrade. Right. Okay. Cool. Okay, I've done my replacement phase. So Russians revolutions phase.
So I guess the question I'm asking is, so we're spending the resources either on dead units or reinforcements?
No, we don't spend on the reinforcements are just there. We just spend replacement point RPs to add dead units in with the replacements, in with the reinforcements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just we bunch them in the available units box, ready to be deployed.
And when do we deploy them? During our operational turn? That's my question.
Yeah, interesting. Where is it? We did it last time, so just go. Okay. What that happens on the first operational turn, I think.
All right.
Yeah, so it's the beginning. We say there's a new units phase in the operational turn sequence. Yes. So after event phase, there's new unit phase. So yeah, we just get them ready now. Okay, so no Russian revolutions phase, fortress surrender phase. Okay, so certainly need to roll for Maubeuge. So the roll here. Roll a die during the fortress surrender phase, very strategic turn. After strategic turn C, for each fortification next to the border spy that has at least as many units adjacent to it as there are friendly units. Result for okay, so not until
C.
Not until for every strategic turn after strategic turn C. So presumably start at D. Okay, yeah. So no, we don't roll for that either.
There's no Turkish surrender.
Nope.
The Germans have the initiative.
Yeah. I think you then need. The only other thing I'm thinking is about your Oberost OHL.
We're keeping it at OHL.
Yeah.
Now, when do we add in events, strategic events, the random events?
Strategic turn C, I think, is the first.
Roger. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, they enter play starting on strategic turn C. We're on B. So,
all right.
It's yeah.
All right. So we move right into the operational turn.
Indeed. And so there's events phase, which nothing happens, and then there's new units phase.
All right. Let me sort out my bit Well, you know what? I'll do the Austrians in the east, and then I'll have to sort out some stuff on between the west and the east. But you can do the west if you want, and I'll.
Yeah, just quickly looking something. Yeah, so weather's straight afterwards. So we do have to roll for weather now in October, but that's after we place new units. So placing new units, I think we've gone through the restrictions. I think we're just about there, but let me just check anything other than that. Okay, yeah. So any friendly controlled supplied city hex within a unit's home country. Stacking limits apply. And also units may be also placed in a friendly controlled supplied hex occupied or adjacent to a supplied HQ, same nationality. You can be depleted or not as an HQ. If you add an HQ next to an HQ, you can't then use that HQ to place units. In general, one stack, which is 6 cavalry units, plus 1 HQ is placement limitations. So basically at each HQ, you can add a stack, but you can spread it around. So the maximum of 6 units per HQ. So were you doing east, did you say?
Yeah, I'm just doing the Austrians in the east. They're quick.
So I'll do the west. I might need to grab my unit, so I'll just be in the, so that's the British and the French. So just grabbing those and map back. Okay, so the British. That's my one placed in the west.
All right, I will have more to do on the east, but I need to sort through
your Germans, split the Germans. Yeah.
who goes where. So, all right. Oh, so you're. Give me a second here on the west map, or I'm going to get jerked around.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just. Don't worry, move however you like. Not, shipping needing around. How are we doing?
I am almost out of the west. And now I'm out of the west. Let me just stack these guys up and take them east.
Yeah, I'm just catching up on what Julian's saying here. Yep. Yeah, the Galician front, I think, I'm a slight victim of pretty poor rolls in general. So the line held with the Austrians in Galicia, certainly. Yeah, the gap to Breslau, it's kind of a problem in that it's kind of easily filled. It's a long way. It's a long way to supply, and there's not much in the way. So yeah, I mean it's a shorter route up in the north, but we'll see what the reinforcements are like. But yeah, certainly there's a squeeze in the north from the Russians. In the south, it hasn't really been much of a squeeze at all. Oh, yes. Actually, Pat, I did want to point something out to you.
Surely.
Just on your Austrians, you need to be a little bit careful on your supply because it's easily missed. Down on the extreme end of the line, over near Romania, because I took Chernovitz, your
right.
unit right on the border is actually out of supply now.
So
Chernovitz is actually quite important.
What I would have done then is simple. Yeah. I would have just strategically moved this headquarters.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Just so you know, it's easily missed because of what's underneath, what's going on underneath these.
And in fact, having done that, I would have placed these reinforcements I placed in these places there. All right. All right. Let me go back up north.
Yeah, so with the Galician front, the Russians really need to take some towns because they've certainly on their first couple of turns, they don't actually have any HQs. So they're very restricted on advancing. because their towns are very few and far between, particularly on the southern part of the Galician front. And as it happens, Chernovitz I've been able to take only just, and elsewhere I've kind of struggled really. We have Brady and Tarnopol, which still are holding out, and yeah. I think on one occasion, actually, in August, I didn't advance because I would have been outsupplied by advancing. You'll see a lot in this game. There are, if you like, situations which kind of, through things like the supply rules and just how things like towns are placed and other standard rules, kind of lead in certain areas to historical problems. Yeah, I said it's a bold move for Breslau, and that's really far too bold for the Russians. They can run out of steam very, very quickly in this game from long experience.
I am done on the east.
Okay, and I will then look at our mine, so we can get our Serbs opened up, and we can place. Now I getting this right because the Serbs aren't the necessarily get. Okay, so the Serbs and the Russians, you can place adjacent to or in the HQ, but only in one hex, so you can't spread them around.
Oh, so it's got to be in one place? Okay.
Yeah, so let me just get him out of the way. 2, 3, there. So, yeah, that'll do. And Serbs. Still. No, not your Germans. Your German. It's the Russians and the Serbs that can't spread out. You can. Austrians can as well. It's only. Actually, think about it. Oh, the Austrians can't either.
Right, but that wasn't a problem.
Yeah. So you can't spread around. They can only go in a hex when you're doing an HQ. An HQ thing. It's Germans, French, and British have that. Germans, French, and British. Right. So, you're back as you were with the Germans?
Yeah. Everything's fine.
That's fine. So, I have Russians to bring on, and boy, there's a lot of them. So. they're all mixed up here. The difference. That's what the reinforcements are. Just sort them out a bit here. Wow, they're a very mixed bunch. I think I'm done, and then something I see there's another stack of Russians. I think these are all the same on that, yeah. The replacements. So, he's full. Okay, just checking out. That's all. Get our available units box. Slightly more organised. Okay, yeah, I think I'm done.
All right. So
weather.
Yes, shall I roll?
Okay, so I think I don't think we roll in the east. I think it's just wet. Looking at the turn, it's what have we here? We got W question mark / W. So I think that's west and east. So let me just check weather determination. 12. 12 weather. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 2 letters.
On W question mark turns, odd means wet, even means fair.
Yeah.
So here we go. It is wet.
Okay, so they're both wet. Okay. It's +1 to movement cost for crossing rivers. Floodplain hexes are marsh. Units defending in forest hexes gain a column shift. Units defending in mountain or mounted passes get a 2 column shift. Subtract 2 from the die roll for allied strategic bombing. That's it. Okay. So +1 movement cost, crossing rivers and floodplains and marshes now. And 1 column shift forwards. Didn't have before. One other thing I think we need to do is to turn B is some trench effects. I think we haven't.
That begins, I believe, in October.
Yes, exactly. So trenches. So trenches in Europe. Right. Starting with strategic turn B, trenches on the European map provide a variable combat modifier. I think it's on the. Let's see. I think it's on the chart. No, maybe not.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So the Germans are -1 on turn B.
Yes.
-2 on turn D.
Yeah.
And the Austrians can't do it until F. And the Brits can do it like the Germans, -1 now.
Yes.
And the French can't do it yet.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Yes, turn C for the French.
Yeah. Where is that chart? Is that on the E map?
Yes. So just on the side of the map. So yeah. So the British Belgian is at -1, and that's it for me. And your German on -1. So that's the trench effects for the game. Is
right.
a modifier for the combat results table. But the combat results table goes from 1 to 6. There are no extra, so it basically biases it, up. And the CRT is quite brutal in the change. In for 1 to 3 units as a defense. So it does have quite a big effect. Right. Okay, so just as we're back. We got the weather, so we're on to the operational movement, the initial movement phase. So you're west, I'm on the east.
So. I believe yes. So I think it's probably strange enough a good time to save.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be moving a lot, and I don't know if we'll get through this turn, but Thursday we can pick up. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, probably a good idea actually. Let Julian and the others out early. Let's just have a look.
So this is begin.
Yeah. And Panther here. Hi. Right. So so we got through September and the strategic turn. A little slower than I was expecting. Actually, I thought we'd get well into October.
Well, what happens is we got what I thought we'd move quicker too, but we have a lot of stuff coming in. That's the problem.
We did. Yeah, it was a big new units phase, wasn't it? There was a lot of stuff coming in. That's true. So and then placing it. Good. Anyway, so we will be back on Tweezer Thursday. Same time, same place, and we'll hope to see you then. And as always, thanks for watching. Pat, if you want to summarize anything, or
happy gaming.
Yeah, brilliant. And hope to see you in the chat and on the stream on Thursday. Thanks a lot. Then, bye for now.
Bye-bye.